Okay, Alex, take us away with the men's steeplechase, the last individual track meeting of the competition for Division 3.
Yes, so the steeplechase with just 4 events to be wrapped up then. And Iceland have a very, very strong lead, nearly 100 points. Just looking at it officially, at the moment, it's 79.5 points. Divide that by 4. That means Iceland have definitely been promoted because they can't drop 19.9 points in the remaining events. But Luxembourg, very, very close to being promoted. And then Bosnia have just had the gap cut to Moldova. It's only 8 with 4 to go now. So that's helped by that 5,000 meter result. In this men's 3,000 meter steeplechase, there are, I think, a couple of standout athletes once again. Certainly this athlete here, Hlynur Andrésson. So he won the second league 5,000 meters back in Stara Zagora 4 years ago in Bulgaria. And this is Gail Weicherding of Luxembourg, their 1,500 meter indoor champion this year. Another athlete to watch out for Malta. As you can see, he's standing there on the outside wearing MLT. And that's Luke Mikalev. So he set a national record last year in Brussels of 9 minutes 0.12. So be very interesting to see how it plays out because, of course, we've just seen Kimberly Chimfat, who is comfortably ahead of the rest of the field on personal best. We had one athlete go with her early pace and then struggle to stay with her there on in. Now, from a tactical point of view, if we're thinking about the overall team standings, then you have to look out for the Bosnian and the Moldovan athlete because everything else is very, very close to being wrapped up. Luxembourg have a 35-point gap between second and Moldova, who are fourth overall in those team standings. So that's almost 10 points that you could drop per event if you've got 4 left, and that would be 40. And it's just less than that. But you can see Weicherding, second ranked on paper, looking strong. And therefore, Rob, it's Luxembourg from Iceland, just as we had in the women's 5,000 meters.
And I'm looking at the very back of the field. Second to last, Moldovan. Last, Bosnian. We need to pay very, very close attention to them as well in terms of the overall points. I really like Gil Weicherding, national indoor champion last year over the 15. He has got a best time of 8:56, but 9:13 this year. Second in the small stakes games with that time. Andrésson, 6th in the 1,500 yesterday with a 3:55. He's a 62-minute half marathon runner, so he's more than capable of getting in the shake-up. But also, in second place, a 2:19 marathon runner, Luke Mikalev of Malta. He was 4th in that small stakes games in 9:38, and he just jumped really well there, so there's nothing wrong with his technique. I think the man from Luxembourg really fancies the job here, and Andrésson is staying with the man from Malta at the moment, but there's a little bit of a gap opening up, and it is not as far as a 5,000 meters, so I think he looks very, very composed and comfortable. 7, his last round doesn't matter. He's taken the time.
Well, you can see here that Gil Weicherding has dropped the other 2 athletes, Mikalev and Andrésson. So that's a bit of a surprise, especially given Andresson's pedigree. But look at that, cheered on by his triple jumping teammate there. Weicherding looking very good. He came through then a first kilometre in 2:58. So that'd be around 8:50, 8:55 kind of pace if he can keep it up. You can see they're just a bit of a stutter into that barrier. Let's see whether that gap is continuing to grow back to Mikalev, who actually did 3 different events at those games of the small states of Europe. The best came in that steeplechase with the 4th place, but he also was in the 10,000 and 5,000 meters. Sorry, the 10,000 meter 3rd and a 5,000 meter 6th. So either way, really, really impressive. And I think he only made his debut at the Luxembourg senior cross-country championships last year. But Mikhailov looking very determined. Obviously, we mentioned that Malta at one point in proceedings still had a chance of promotion. That slipped away now because the gap is nearly 50 points. But Malta's still a very, very solid fifth place, I think you would say, for them overall, helped by that double for Gina McNamara in the women's 800 and 1500 metres. But Weicherding is looking metronomic out front, Rob.
And I'll tell you what, he's pretty good technically. I watched him over that water jump while you were talking, Alex, and it was lovely. 1 foot in the water, 1 foot was dry. Mikhailov running well for Malta. I think the Maltese have had a great couple of days' pace with a win and a podium in the long and the triple, bringing some good points for them. He hasn't got the longest stride in the world. The knees turn in a fraction, but it's very effective for Weicherding. I wonder whether Andreasen is just feeling the effects of a very busy couple of days. He did run really well for that 3:55 for sixth in the 1500, the Icelander in third, and he's a big guy to drag himself round. And Mikhailov, the Maltese man, is a 2:19 marathon runner and a 29:20 10K man on the road. So he's got stamina to burn. Now, I'm also trying to pay close attention to where Relive and Buzelan are placed in this race. They were second last and last. It's harder to tell now because the field is so spread out, but it is going to be, barring a fall or an attack of cramp, it's going to be a fabulous last individual win for Luxembourg with Weicherding. And what good points they will have picked up with the women's 5 and the men's 3 steeple, Alex.
Absolutely. And I can see that Weicherding going over that first barrier of this last lap, and he certainly appeared to have no shortage of energy. Just been mentioned to me by Stephen Mills, one of our excellent reporters and statisticians from European Athletics, that Nahuel Carabania, he's not in this steeplechase. And of course, an athlete 8:16 at best, obviously offering to do the 1500 meters, did supremely well, and that was his lot. So he's given the chance for Luxembourg to take maximum points here towards the end of the second day of the third league. And what a fantastic showing it's been as he comes down here. Again, no shortage of energy on this last lap. No sense that he's been tiring. Let's have a look as he comes across the line. It is going to be well inside 9 minutes, 8:49.35 for the athlete from Luxembourg. And they, of course, look to rubber stamp promotion to the second league as Anderson breaks Mikhailov, sprints down this home straight, and goodness me, he brings Iceland's tally of top 2 finishes to at least 20 now out of 37 events. Mikhailov with the third place. Very, very solid. It was really interesting when he made that move in the early stages because he wasn't in the top 2 at the get-go and said, no, I want to be in contention in this race, tried to stick with the pace and fought bravely. An eventual third place is his reward. Still finishing there with the Armenian. Just having a look where Armenia are in the overall standing. So they're in 9th place. So looking to keep that place in the top 10. But crucially, is that the Moldovan athlete there just finishing ahead of the Bosnian. So we'll wrap things up. But Rob, we are so close to the conclusion now with, just 3 more events to conclude after this.
It was the Moldovan finishing Buzelan ahead of Roljic. Very good run from Weicherding. The reason he was so excited at the end with his 8:49, by the way, look at this technique. Left foot in the water, right foot coming straight down, bang. That is brilliant technique from the man from Luxembourg. He's taken 7 seconds off his PB. That's why he was so elated. Not just the victory. Watch his reaction as he crosses the line and realizes he's gone inside 8:50 for the first time. Boom! The arm comes up. Fabulous piece of front running and lovely technically as well.
So
a very, very good win.
Yeah, absolutely. We know that the Icelandic party started some time ago, and the Luxembourgish one, I think, can begin now. There you go. That personal best Rob mentioned, 8:49.34. Anderson with a fast finish to break away from Mikalev. And just looking there, I think that result reflects the fact that